Welcome into the live desk on this Thursday afternoon. We like to call it 4th of July Eve. You can see the patriotic feel right behind me. I'm Janae Hancock here at the live desk. I want you to take a look at this graphic right here on your screen. Speaking of the 4th of July, we are officially just one day away, and there are several events happening across the metro, including what you see right here on your screen. You're taking a look at the Stars and Stripes picnic. Now, our coverage here at KCTV 5 gets underway at around 5 a.m. tomorrow morning from the National World War One Museum and Memorial, and then the picnic happening at 3 p.m. following the fireworks show that begins at 9 p.m. and then the fireworks actually begin at 9:40. So you want to be in your seats, in your positions, so you can get a great view of the fireworks at the National World War One Museum and Memorial. So again, our coverage starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning. So be sure to stay tuned into that. But there's also an attraction related to the history of Independence Day all the way in Virginia right now, but created by some brilliant minds right here in Kansas City. So that brings me to our guests for today. I am joined by Rob and Keith. You can't see Keith just yet, but they are with the Wide Awake Films. Rob, I want to thank you so much for joining me here at the live desk. Just tell us a little bit more about Wide Awake Films. What exactly is it?
Well, hello, Janae. Wide Awake Films has been in existence since 1999, and we consider ourselves one of the leaders in production of historical centered media, films, and museum interactives.
And Keith, I want you, I know you're here in Kansas City. I want you to join in on the conversation as well and tell me a little bit about what this production company means to you as well.
Yes, Janae, thanks for having us. I've been working at and with the folks at Wide Awake Films for a few decades now, and honestly, I just feel so lucky to be able to be doing what I do in my hometown in Kansas City, and we're very proud of that. And since I've always been a history buff my entire life, like to be able to sort of leverage film and storytelling skills in order to provide these new educational and entertaining stories for a new generation of young viewers, I think is really important. And we take that very seriously.
I love it. I want to take a look at these photos that our viewers can see here on their screens. You all actually had the opportunity to be a part of an exhibit at the National Museum of the United States Army in Fairfax County, Virginia. Tell me a little bit more about that. What are we looking at, and how did you all contribute exactly?
Yeah, we're very excited and very pleased by this new exhibit, which just opened at the National Museum of the U.S. Army, and it contains a lot of our work. So again, we were asked by the curators of this exhibit to create a whole series of media displays and interactives that help to bring the subject matter to life. So you were seeing not only some images of the final product, but some of the making of and behind the scenes images, which we'd love to kind of share with you kind of how these things are made. And a lot of it was made here in Kansas City. We're very proud of it. This exhibit is focused on the 250th anniversary of the United States Army. Again, it was born in 1775. And again, the exhibit focuses on the soldiers and their contribution to victory in the American Revolution. So we were asked to really create media and presentations and immersive experiences that really look at key battles, look at the soldiers, their lives that they faced, and a lot of the weapons or other types of gear that they used in the war.
I think that this exhibit is so unique, Rob and Keith, just because, like you said, you really bring it to life. You're getting that feel of what it actually felt like to be there at this museum, which you don't typically get. You see the photos, you see the videos, but this is just so unique to me. So bring us into the creation process as well. Just how long did it take, and what did you all do to bring this exhibit to life exactly?
Yeah, the process was many years. I think we worked on it for about a year and a half, really starting with early upfront designs, a whole lot of drawing, a whole lot of concepting. We were surrounded by a wonderful team of other vendors who were doing more traditional exhibit design, creating cast figures of some of the real authentic people who took part in the Revolutionary War. But we were really called in to create specifically three landmark filmic projection pieces, two that bookend the experience of the museum, and then one right in the middle. It's generally a chronological path as you walk through the museum. And so we start off with the Battle of Bunker Hill. We end with Cornwallis's surrender at Yorktown. Those are two landmark media pieces. And then in the middle, we have this more sort of abstract video wall that's actually four 4K projectors that kind of tells impressionistically the story of camp life throughout the war and what it may have been like for young soldiers to go through a period of training, periods of hardship, and really build themselves into a fierce fighting army capable of winning the war and achieving revolution. In addition to those three landmark media pieces, we also did four kiosk-based interactives, much more user-driven exploratory experiences, one of which was on powder horns, a very fascinating subject that I really wasn't exposed to before working on this film. But the Army was able to get a collection of a couple dozen amazing original powder horns that contained black powder. They were used in order to load muskets. Those are on display in a display case that have hand-carved mementos and anecdotes from the soldiers who actually had those horns in their possession. We have taken them with high resolution scans and put them into a sort of navigational app sort of experience where you can really drill in and zoom up and get more information on some of these soldiers' stories. The other kiosks were related to the northern and southern theaters of battle, where we go through 30 individual battles and give quite a bit of detail on who participated in the fight, who won, who didn't, some of the quotes and anecdotes, as well as sort of a deep dive on some of the weapons used during the war as well. But I'd say the key through line is that we're always trying to take there's so much detail, but we're always trying to put it in the perspective of the common everyday soldier, what their experience was, and to hopefully give people many different entry points into this history and this amazing experience.
Really stepping into their shoes. I mean, just taking a look at these photos once again, it's just amazing what you all did in order to create this exhibit. And I just want to clarify, just how long did it take for you guys to put all these pieces together? I mean, you talk about including what was given to you from the Army, which is huge. Just how long did it take to put every single piece together to make the exhibit what it is today?
From the very first interactions we had with the U.S. Army Museum and their curators to the launch was about a year and a half of really hard work and work not only here in Kansas City, but elsewhere. We worked with a number of our partners, Propaganda 3, it's in Kansas City as well. And so we really enjoyed this process and enjoyed building these creatives. And I think they really leverage a lot of the strengths of Wide Awake Films. And we're really, I think, well known for accurate historic live recreation. So as you can imagine, there's no archival video of the Revolutionary War. So we have to kind of create these moments using the best living history actors, using kind of authentic, costumes and uniforms, and bring, this period of time to life. And that's something we really delight in doing. And then we combine that with a lot of other sophisticated animations or other kinds of AV work, and really to kind of create something that feels both modern and historic. And I think that's important for connecting with today's audience.
Keith and Rob, I do want to ask you before we move on. I mean, what is your why? Why did you feel it was important to create this exhibit and share it with not only Virginia, but with the entire country?
Well, I think we're at the 250th anniversary of the birth of our country. This is a time of reflection and looking back at all that we've done over those 250 years. So really looking at these origin moments that come during the American Revolution, we think is so important. We're an organization and a company that's solely focused on history, with really a focus on American history. So these are the types of projects that we really just delight in doing. I think they shows our skills. It brings kind of our creative juices to the fore. And we love just connecting today's population with these historic moments and subjects.
Yeah, I think that's it for me as well. I felt and feel very honored to have been working on this project for the U.S. Army. There are veterans in my family, and My grandfather was a navigator on a B-17 who was shot down in World War II and was a POW for 2 years. And I remember his stories, Sunday night family dinner 50 years later. He told us of those experiences, not like they were set in stone, but like they were happening now. They were like palpably pleasant present for him. And I feel like we can really use those kinds of stories and narratives today to give people a direct experience of what it may have been like or must have been like. And I think we owe a lot to these people and these veterans who came before us and who are amongst us today. And so, in terms of purpose, I think that was always on our minds. And to be able to have the opportunity and to use the tools and what we bring to the table to tell those stories for a new generation, and to do it in a way that is both very educational, in some cases schematic and tactical, but also very visceral, what it must have felt like or could have been like to be on the ground. It's very inspiring, and so a wonderful project to take part in.
I love it. Okay, so Rob, I want to ask you, bring you back into the conversation as well. I mean, what do you hope that people walk away feeling and thinking after leaving this museum in Virginia? And that includes Kansas Cityans.
Well, I really hope that many people will have a chance to see this exhibit over its 2 year run at the museum. And my hope, and I think it's the curator's hope too, that people leave with a deep appreciation of the sacrifice and bravery that these soldiers, showed during this long conflict. And again, this conflict is what led to our American independence. So really understanding it from a human point of view, it's not just men, but it's women, it's people of all sorts of different backgrounds. They all came together to fight and struggle for our freedom. And I think for us in Kansas City and throughout the country, it's important that we reflect back on this historic moment.
And Keith, I'll end with you. What do you hope people walk away feeling and thinking?
I hope they have a very good understanding of the trajectory of the American Revolution, and how much was risked, and how much was put on the line by many people who were farmers, who were not trained, who were not well equipped, in order to take on really the most experienced army in the world and fighting force in a short amount of time, to walk through, to see our pieces, to see the tremendous artifacts that are on to display, to read the quotes and the anecdotes on the wall, and to just take themselves back 250 years and make that history a little more present and applicable to maybe what they think about today. That amount of reflectance, I hope people take a moment and go there.
I think reflecting is always important, especially this time of year. I want to thank you both for joining me here at the live desk. Again, that exhibit will stay in Virginia at the National Museum of the United States Army in Fairfax County in Virginia. For 2 years. So that is good news, and congratulations to you both. I know that exhibit just got underway at the beginning of this month, and you have a long way ahead of you. So best of luck with everything and all your endeavors, but I want to thank you for joining me.
Thank you.
Awesome. And as for our viewers, as we look ahead to the 4th of July holiday, again, we have to keep letting you know about this. This is the fireworks show, all getting underway tomorrow. Our coverage begins at 5 a.m. The Stars and Stripes picnic at 3 p.m. And you can catch the fireworks at 9:40 p.m. tomorrow night. We have a full list on our website, kctv5.com. If you don't plan on going here, but you want to enjoy throughout the weekend, just the 4th of July holiday, you can definitely do so. We have everything you need to know as far as in Kansas and Missouri. You can head to our website, kctv5.com. You can also download the KCTV5 News app for everything you need to know. For now, I'm going to leave you with a live shot overlooking the Country Club Plaza. We are expecting a weather update to come your way shortly after our noon newscast wraps up in just a bit. So one of our meteorologists will let you know what you can expect as you join family and friends during the holiday weekend.